right now. Joining me live on the phone, School Board District 158, Michael Thompson, and another School District 158 candidate, Laura Murray. Laura and Michael, welcome to Mark My Words.
Hello, thank you for having us.
Hey, Mark, great to be on.
It's my honor. Laura, I'm going to start with you. School board candidates are under massive attack. What was the spark that where you said, I'm going to run?
Well, I had that spark in 2020 during COVID and whatnot, and I ran for a seat then. And it was really important for the community's voice to be heard, and I felt like I could represent that. That didn't go as planned. However, it just kept my interest, and I have been an involved parent since then, speaking from the other side of the board bench. So now, speaking for 3 years for that and pushing and representing the community, I want to be on the other side, and I want to represent the community from a board seat. And we need to have a diversity of thought on the board, and the community deserves that, and I want to represent them, and I'm going to bring that to them.
Fantastic. God bless you. Thank you for that. And Michael, what was there a moment that was triggered with you to say, I've got to run for school board?
You know, I don't know if it was as much of a moment, Mark, as it was just the straw that broke the camel's back. I mean, over the last 2.5, 3 years now, myself and my friends here who I'm right alongside with, along with dozens of other parents in our community, have been standing in front of this board and received nothing but blank stares. We've even reached out to them and asked to have one-on-one sessions, and it's just been a source of frustration. But I'll tell you what really did it for me was, and I wasn't even intending to run, Mark. This is something that I believe came to the light because the incumbent that I'm running up against, we didn't even know that his seat was going to be vacant. It wasn't until 2 days before the filing date that we found out. And thanks to true grassroots supporters, I was able to get over 100 signatures in 2 days.
Wow.
And I think that was the final straw. You know what? That just sealed the deal for me.
God bless the grassroots. Nothing moves without the grassroots. Laura, we've been hearing test scores plummeting. It's students and children are so ill-prepared for when they graduate. What can we do to reverse this very dangerous trend?
Well, I think having the teachers be more in control than ever is going to be key because they're the ones that teach all the subjects to all the students. So they're in charge. And so to embolden them to do what they need to do and maybe have a focus group of teachers to put that in order and direct that instead of from above them. Personally, I believe that's how that would work because they know what to do. They're the teachers, and they handle the students on a daily basis and know what their weaknesses and their strengths are. So that's how that job is going to get done, and then that would be improvement right there, being able to work that out. So I know personally, like for my boys, I know when they had a little learning gap during COVID, it was the teachers that brought them back. The high interest in, their grades, like how can we bring them back, move them around? Okay, this is where we got to focus on for this student, this student, this student, and the teachers know that, period. The teachers know that. So they're going to be the ones that have to figure this out because they know best, 100%.
They know best. Michael, in the last probably minute and a half, students have been tortured during the pandemic, mentally, emotionally, psychologically. How do we get students back on track who have suffered so much since the pandemic and school shutdowns?
Yeah, it's easy to point fingers and blame, and no one expected our children to have to go through what they've endured during the pandemic. I think if we were to look at a positive aspect of that, we've learned exactly what not to do. And in the case of our children, it was, first of all, a very, very low-risk group. And the isolation had a bigger detriment than any other factor. Right. So we have to go back and we have to make sure that we're addressing, first of all, those scars that have been inflicted upon our children mentally and emotionally. And second, I think we've also learned from a technological standpoint that we do have the wherewithal to go remote, but that should be a last resort. at the end of the day. We have dedicated teachers who are also impacted by this, who wanted nothing more than to get in front of their students and teach. That's what they love doing. That's what they chose to do as their life's calling. And so I think it's a three-prong approach. The school has to be equipped. The teachers need to have the support of the parents. And we as parents need our voice back to let the administrators know that we as parents know what's best for our children. It should always have been an option and not a mandate.
That's absolutely 15 seconds real quick, Michael. Where can we get information on your campaign?
twoforthompson.com.
That is easy. Laura, same to you. Where can we get information on your campaign?
All right, murrayforboard.com. It could be FOR or the number, or Murray for Board on Facebook.
You two make this...
Can I do a shout-out? Hey, Mark.
Go ahead, please.
Can I do a shout-out to the Grafton GOP? They have been a huge support of us. And I just wanted to thank them live on the air.
Well, thank you for doing that. We want to make sure that any of these local groups that are supportive, that we do get them, thank them publicly. So Laura Murray, Michael Thompson, God bless you. Thank you for joining us. And we'll be following your